Thank you to each and every one of you for coming out tonight to support CARY, which is an organization which does incredibly invaluable work. I had done many things that were expected of me, and perhaps I was a little bit ready to be bad, because I had always been very good. And it was at this moment in time, a little bit aimless, a little bit uncertain, certainly very sheltered and naive, that my path crossed with what seemed to me to be an incredibly worldly and sophisticated older woman. And she turned out to be a lot more sophisticated than I thought, because she was involved with narcotics. Of course, the day came when she said to me, "I need you to do something for me. I need you to carry this bag of drug money from Chicago to Brussels." And that, of course, is when the knock on the door came. And in my case, that happened in 1998. 2 federal agents knocked on my door and they let me know that I had been indicted in federal court in Chicago and I had better get ready to face the consequences of my actions. I remember that day that I turned myself in to start serving what was fortunately only a 15-month sentence. I was very scared because the image of prisons and of prisoners in this country is of relentlessly, uncontrollably violent people and violent places. And all the other prisoners had their regular uniforms on their feet were big, black, steel-toed shoes. And the other women began to approach me, and I was scared. So here they came in their big, black, steel-toed shoes. And they said things to me like, "Do you need some toothpaste? Do you need some shower shoes? Because there's a wicked foot fungus in there. Do you need me to make you a cup of instant coffee? Because you are quaking in your boots here, Kerman. Today is a really bad day, but tomorrow will be a tiny bit better." And so the last thing that I expected on my first day of prison was to encounter kindness. What you see over there is a sort of fuzzy photocopy of my prison ID. You know, I had been transformed from Piper Kerman into 1118744. But what you see above it is a name tag in that funny script, that fancy script, and that was made for me by Star. So Star was one of my neighbors in B dorm, where I was assigned to live. And Star was sort of the resident artist of the unit in which I lived. Young woman, and for every single new arrival in B dorm, we were required to have our name and our unit, our registration number on our housing assignment on our bunk bags, basically. And she would hand letter that as a welcome of a sort to B dorm arrivals. When I came home from prison, what I found is that almost to the last man and woman that I knew, everyone wanted to know about the experience in as much detail as I was willing to share. Which is ironic because we send so many people away to prisons and jails, and it is sort of like out of sight, out of mind. And yet, when I came home, people were very interested because, of course, the world of prison is hidden, and I would say very intentionally hidden, away from the public view. I hoped that if I succeeded in telling my story well, that people might come away from the book with a different idea about who is in prison in this country. First of all, women. We don't necessarily think of women and girls first. Why are they there? What are the pathways that lead people to prison? And that is one of the things I love about the show, is that it shows those pathways. And what really happens to folks when they live behind the walls of a prison or a jail. And this, for me, is a very good day. I get to be here with all you fine folks. You have all come out tonight to support an amazing organization in the Council on At-Risk Youth. And I get to talk to you about these issues and these people who I think are so very important, whose lives have so much meaning and so much value. And so for me, this is a very good day. This is not my worst day. This is not the day that I carried that bag of drug money. This is not the day that I was sentenced to prison, or the day that I began serving that sentence, the day I went to prison. And I'm lucky that I get to be here with you today. What I want for Shalonda and for her kids is for her to be judged and for them to be judged not on their worst day, not solely on their worst day, but also on their best day. And what I want for these kids is for them to meet a fate which is very, very different than pom-poms. And I believe that that is possible, and I believe that that can come true, and I believe that because I see the results when I see organizations like CARY at work right here in our community.